today we're going to have a little bit of an update on Meg and me. So I am entering 3-week out mark, so we have only just gone past the 4-week out mark yesterday. So we are just under the 4-week out mark, and Meg is officially just under 2 weeks out. So today we are going to talk you through a lot of the movements that she's doing right now and what we actually do and how when it comes to contest prep. So we will definitely dig into more of how the approach changes and varies when it comes to modulating intensity and training volume as you get closer to contest and as you get closer to contest shape, which is the most important thing as well. The leaner you are, the less training volume you can actually handle, and the less, I think the less aggressive approach has to be taken towards your sets, because you just don't have the same amount of safety around your joints with the body fat being lower and water being so low. It therefore makes sense that you do take the approach that is a little bit more cautious when it comes to your training. But I will dig into a little bit more of that in detail as we go through the session. So strap in, you will see some highlights of my working sets, but today's session we're basically going to take you through Meg's session and how she trains at just under 2 weeks out from Sasquatch Pro in America. And that is what I would call her real figure of the beauty. So it's definitely quite exciting. She's definitely feeling it a little bit, but she's definitely done really well. I think best prep we both have done, arguably, and it's the best she's ever looked. She's very much ready to start peaking now, so we've started pretty much peaking the process now where her expenditure's starting to come down slowly, and we are getting ready to basically, you know, put the icing on the cake and go for the last week and start filling up a little bit. She's definitely flat, so condition isn't showing quite as much, but it will by the end of next week when, you know, we'll start trickling food in, start dropping fatigue furthermore, get nice and fresh and ready to execute. But now, rewrite my session for today, get ready, start my ability work, and then we'll crack on, so strap in, guys.
This is my first exercise. I've actually been told that I'm not allowed to train to true failure until after I finish competing. Obviously I'll still train to mechanical failure until I've got no more, but none of the like ugly grind reps at the end. Should we really do them anyway? Not really, but I do, so. Yeah, I'm going to be still training to failure, but just not that last rep where it's kind of either forced or assisted. So we'll still keep it kind of strong and hard, but just not quite as hard as what it was. We don't want to get injured, and if I do it too hard, I'll probably just end up getting ridiculously flat, ridiculously kind of fucked, and then it's really hard to fill up with that as well. Yes, I'm putting shorts on for a shoulder press, only because these handles are so slippy. It's so warm and sweaty in here, and I don't want to slip.
No, it's the handles, yeah, it's not her hands.
It's not my hands. It's the pheromones.
So, the way I used to approach my sets lacked a lot of control. Never really lacked aggression intensity, but lacked control. So, one most valuable thing I have learned is to control my aggressions going into each set. You have to be able to stay focused and aggressive at the same time. I feel like getting the balance right between both, where you have all-out aggression with focus, is the best option for me to get the most out of every set. Come on. There we go. There's 6 good. Let's go. Come on then. Okay, get your fucking rib. Oh yes. Oh yes. There you go. Had to fight for that one, but we got it.
Stronger than last week. Promise I am leaner.
What?
I promise I am leaner. I'm lighter. Promise. Just a savage. Not really log booking at the moment. Cooper does at any point. When I get close to prep or close to a show, I do, because it just stresses me out. If I lost a rep and I saw it and my form wasn't better and it was a struggle, it just makes me feel upset. So I am married to my logbook. That might be really sad, but I am, and I like to see progress. So for me at the moment, the progress is seeing the visual changes in my physique. And if I can still keep my strength up, to me that's a win. I have actually beat all of my numbers this week, which is a bit of a shock. But you know, it is what it is. So we'll just carry on doing what we're doing. And we'll not question it.
It's okay, because you're still stronger than me.
And I'm still stronger than Katie. And I'm 50 pounds lighter.
Perfect. There we fucking go. Perfect. Perfect. Come on, Meg. That's the rep. That's the rep. One more. Drive. That's enough. Rack it. Well done. Just leave a plate on. Get pardon? Get the bench. Get Bajal. Here we go. Pressure here. There you go. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Better than last week again. I rep down, but that was fucking way better. So, when it comes to types of progressive overload, sometimes regression means progression. What I mean by that is, in a certain instance, if I'm not happy with a certain set, I will take that load again with improved execution, improved tempo, improved range of motion, although I may get a less than 1 rep than last time, it's still an improvement, it's still progression, because I have actually progressed with the variables and principles that are far more important than just numbers. And that is your range of motion, your execution, and your control over that said movement. Write that down.
I did some partial reps. Cooper told me off. Cooper told me off because I was doing partial reps. I'm not allowed to do partial reps. And then
see a lot of people, and clients in particular, struggling with certain lifts and almost try and give up on it. The last thing you want to do if you're trying to learn a specific movement is to give up on it. Repetition is the mother of skill. The only way to get good at something is actually doing it and doing it over and over again on repeat. The biggest difference between us and other athletes is bodybuilders don't treat the sport like an athlete, and that is a big mistake. We are athletes, therefore training has to be treated in the same manner and same respect. If you struggle at a movement, don't give up on it. Do it and repeat it over and over again. Repetition is the mother of skill. You want to get good at something, do it more frequently and then get better at it. Learn the skill and get good at it.
Here's the left. Here's the 12. Come on. Come on. Take it. There you fucking go. Yes.
I actually got 12 last time, so I got it, yeah. Mine!
That's still you. Come on, force. Take it. Take it. Yeah. Go again then. Yep. Yeah.
Progressive overload tips. When we are looking to progress our lifts, we have a variety of options. We can either take a load progression or a rep progression. What kind of progression you will take will depend on how you feel on the given day and how your warm-up sets go. So generally what will dictate which option I will take is how smooth and how easy my last warm-up set had felt. The easiest form of progression is a small micro load progression. The hardest form of progressions is a double progression where we take extra load and extra reps. However, that is a unicorn of progressions. That only ever happens when all stars align and we have an amazing day, like today. Write that down.
Basically pick the best music. Everybody wants me to be the DJ for UltraFlex Rotherham. I basically just copy what it used to be when it used to be Iron Athlete. The music used to be booming.
go. There you go. On again. There you go. There you go. On it's you.
My ball.
Yep.
My. Yep.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Yep. There you go. Turn it.
When it comes to training, your goal and purpose with any exercise you do is to execute it as well as you possibly can. That does not mean trying to lift as heavy as you can. In fact, it means opposite. Your purpose and goal should always be to try and make every single movement as hard and accurate as possible. And I can promise you, the more accurate you are of the movement, the harder it will be. Therefore, it will be harder for you to actually use substantial load. The biggest mistake I see people do with any isolation work or any real exercise in general is moving loads they have no business touching. Earn the right to move load through correct execution and making sure that you are fully in tune with the purpose, which is always accuracy over everything.
So I am 11 days out from my show. I'm actually 7 days out from flying to America with Katie and Jade. Obviously Jade Kelsey's coming with us as well, which is one of Kuba's lovely bikini clients. Really excited for the show. I feel good this year. I feel stress-free. I feel relaxed. I've definitely prioritised my bodybuilding over everything this year, and I'm not going to say that that's going to mean that I'm going to do well, and I'm not saying that I'm going to do well, because you never know until you get on there. Like, figure is a very big ladies class now. It's not just about shape. It is about being a little bit large, and I'm not really the largest, and I don't really have the desire in me to push certain things to become very large. So what I do is I love to train, and that for me gives me my fire. So where I go and wherever I fare is where I fare. I go in there with the desire to do well, because what competitive person doesn't? I've competed for a really long time, and competing to me is about winning. And eventually, one day, I would love to be able to do that. But I also know where I stand within the ranks. I've made a lot of progress this year, and I'm very, very proud of it. From front to back, to the side shots, definitely all looks great, and I am very proud of that. Very proud of the condition that I'm also bringing to stage this year. I'm very proud of the progress that I've made within my posing and the way in which I display myself, and I just can't wait to get up there. So 7 days away from flying, 11 days away from competing, and I just can't wait for it. Obviously it's a real shame that Cooper can't come, but obviously we'll be able to do the show 2 weeks later. It's actually quite nice not to compete on the same day as each other, if I'm honest, because it's nicer to be able to compete myself and not have to worry about Cooper, and then vice versa for him as well. But obviously we've done it before, and we'll do it again this weekend. Sorry, not this weekend, the Arnold weekend, where we balance both. So I'm sure both will be challenging in its different ways, but I'm very excited for it. I'm also very excited to show you where we're staying in America, because the place that we booked looks amazing. So we'll have lots of chills, lots of feeding up, because it's bodybuilding, so we'll have lots of fun. So I can't wait for it.
One thing I like to remind my clients on a pretty much a daily basis now, it is a marathon, not a sprint. You're not where you want to be right now, but you will be in time. The process that it takes to achieve a certain look, to lift a certain weight, or to even attain whatever your goal is, always requires a timeline, and then a consistent daily action and commitment towards that timeline and goals that you have set for the future. So although you're not where you want to be now, don't let that put you off. You will get there in time if you stay committed and continue pursuing whatever the goal you have set out for yourself. One thing that I've realized over the years is my persistence and consistency has carried me to achieve things that many people doubted I ever would. And that is something I will always hold dear to my heart, is my ability to stay consistent and pursue whatever goal I have set out for myself, no matter what. Write that down. Hope you guys enjoyed the session. Please like, share, subscribe, support the channel, support me, my wife, my friends, help us grow together. And that way I can bring out more content for you guys. Massive thank you to Carl for doing the business. Some of the work he's putting out is amazing, so really appreciate his work, and I appreciate you all watching. Give me a follow, give me a share, give me a like, give Carl a follow, Carl Moss, on Instagram, and get involved, guys. Thank you so much. The process continues.